This is Lance. I'm here to do a review on two specific pre-workout supplements that I've used in the past couple of weeks. One a little bit longer than the other. Just a precursor to my review. I've been working out on and off for the past year. I've switched my diet on and off over the past year, and just up until recently I switch my workout around a little bit more to suit a leaner, try to get a leaner physique as opposed to bulking. And one of the things that I typically like to use are pre-workout supplements. Pre-workout supplements for me are a little bit new in terms of usage, because in the past, if you guys remember back in the mid-90s, early 2000s, you could still get products, thermogenic products that were laden with ephedra or an ECA stack that was a little bit more potent in terms of providing better results for energy. So right now, it's obviously you get other products that have been out where you have the 1,3-DMAA stuff and maybe some other products that have been around that have higher doses of caffeine and other proprietary blends that may or may not work, and they just really result in either making you sick or just not doing anything at all. So I was curious to try out this product by Cloma Pharma called Black Spider 25 ephedra. I saw a guy on Instagram, he posted this, and I was curious about it because whenever I see anything that has the word ephedra or ephedrine, ephedra base, anything like that, it usually piques my interest because using these types of supplements in the past, I've known them to work. So I was curious to give this one a shot. I got this from an online vendor called Asylum Nutrition, and they had a really good deal. I actually had, I bought two for, I think it was two for $60, and I think one goes for like $49.99, so the two for $60 was a good deal, so I got two of these guys. And the other product that I'm going to give a brief review on is by ETB Fit, or Eat the Bear, right here. I bought this one from a local nutrition store here in South Florida called Nutrition Smart. This one I'll get into in a little bit. So first one is going to be the Black Spider 25 ephedra. Like I said at first, I was really interested to give this a shot because I'm used to products with ephedra, higher caffeine dosages, and some of the other banned products that are out there, or that aren't out there anymore. So I was really really interested to see this. So just looking at some of the ingredients, pretty standard stuff. You have B6, B12, folic acid, calcium, sodium, L-arginine, choline, caffeine, DMAE, inositol, yohimbe, some cayenne pepper, Mormon tea, quote-unquote ephedra viridis leaf powder. So those are some of the items, some of the ingredients that are in this product. So you're not really getting the true ephedrine product that you would if you would have had like a Rip Fuel from back in 1998. The product, I'm sorry, the ingredient that they're using, Mormon tea, it shouldn't be confused with the actual ephedrine product, because this one is more for, it is supposed to provide some energy, but it doesn't give you that same effect that an ephedrine would, where it curbs your appetite, opens up the airways, and things like that. So it shouldn't be confused with that. So the labeling is a little misleading because it's really not ephedrine. So just kind of keep that in mind. The other thing, the DMAE, after doing a little bit of research on it, it's actually supposed to help with people who suffer from ADHD. So it's supposed to calm them down essentially, but for people who don't suffer from ADHD, it's supposed to provide you a little bit of a boost. So the opposite is supposed to happen with people who don't suffer from it. So it's supposed to give you a little bit of a boost. And obviously the cayenne pepper is supposed to help with the thermogenic properties of this product. And the caffeine. Overall, I think the product is pretty good. I wasn't blown away by it. It wasn't something that I could actually see myself using on an ongoing basis. Once this can's out, I'm not going to buy it anymore. One of the things I did notice when I initially digested it was it gave me a little bit of indigestion, which I usually don't get. So I was kind of surprised by that, and it wasn't just because of something I ate earlier in the day. This was actually pretty consistent throughout each one of my workouts. So I did notice it consistently, even having it on an empty stomach and having it with something that was light, like some chicken with a rice or something like that. So it wasn't what I had eaten before. So after taking it, I usually don't drink it with water. What I typically do is just take a scoopful and then down some water after it. So just so you can kind of see the scoop, it's a typical scoop that you would find in a pre-workout supplement, 7 grams. So as I was saying, the product did give me a little bit of indigestion. I wouldn't necessarily say that it actually gave me a good boost of energy. It actually made me a little bit more lethargic. And I think that it had to do with the caffeine, to be honest with you, and maybe the Mormon tea. Because caffeine for me usually doesn't give me a jolt of energy. It actually does the opposite for me. It actually brings me down. So I'm not a huge fan of taking products that have high concentrations of caffeine. That's why I typically don't really drink a lot of coffee. So for me, the product more than anything was more so probably just a placebo. I don't think it really did much for me in terms of boosting my energy or making me lift crazy weights or giving me an additional pump, which I know it wasn't really supposed to do, but it's supposed to give me at least some type of energy. So I think the company had their hearts in the right place, but I don't think the product really did what it was supposed to do for me anyway. But it is what it is. Maybe it works for some people, but for me it just didn't do what I expected it to do. Oh, and the flavor, I missed that. It's cherry limeade. I don't know if you can see that. And for me, the taste never really matters. It could be cherry limeade, banana, concrete. For all I care, it doesn't matter. I don't go for the flavor. I typically just, like I said, take the scoop, dry, wash it down with a couple gulps of water, and I'm good to go. So if you want to sit there and sip on it, the taste is, it's not really medicinal. It's fair. Give the taste like a 2 out of 6, 2 out of 10 rather. Now this one, Eat the Bear Uncaged 2.5. This is fruit punch flavored. I will say that I did try this with some water as well as my traditional scoop, and the flavor is actually pretty good. It's not overly medicinal or cough syrupy tasting, so it's a little bit more doable in terms of downing it with some water as a drink. So for me, that was pretty cool. I like that part of it. So I wouldn't actually mind drinking this during my workout or obviously before. But this company, ETB or Eat the Bear, they say on the sheet here that it's banned substance free, and a lot of their products are actually a little bit better for you from an organic perspective. And I've actually looked at some of their other products, and they do seem to have some really clean protein and some other supplements that I would like to try. Now this guy here, I was really surprised by what it did provide me in terms of energy. I didn't expect it to do what it did, but it was actually really potent for me. So I'll kind of go over the ingredients really quick. Has beta-alanine, 1,500 milligrams, which if you guys are familiar with pre-workouts, it gives you the tingling, an amino acid that gives you that tingling, burning feeling on the top of your skin. Arginine, magnesium, creatine, histidine, vanadyl sulfate, and their proprietary blend for energy and focus, which is choline, caffeine, and methyltyramine HCl. So it doesn't have as much, as many ingredients as the Black Spider 25, but I think it was a lot cleaner in terms of the energy that it gave me. And like I said, as soon as I took it, I actually felt, I obviously had the tingling with because of the beta-alanine, but I did have an increased amount of energy. And each time I've used it thus far, which has been for, I'd say, a week now, I've preferred using this over the Black Spider. As soon as I take it, I'm ready to go. I burn through my, blow through my workout in about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on what I'm actually doing that day. And I don't get winded, and I don't feel lethargic at all. So for me, it's a really clean energy. You don't get, obviously, if you guys remember how the BSN No Explode was, where you get that ridiculous pump before, or during the workout, and you feel like you could actually throw the weights through the wall. You don't get that kind of crazy energy, but there is still a abundant amount of really clean, focused energy. You don't feel, that nausea that you would typically feel when you take a product that has, ephedra or some other types of ingredients. So I really enjoy this one, and I can actually see myself purchasing this again once I'm out of this. And actually, the video cut off on me, but just to finish up in summation for the two products, Black Spider 25 and Eat the Bear Uncaged 2.5. Eat the Bear, definitely a superior product in my opinion in terms of clean energy overall. Black Spider, wasn't too pleased with the overall effects of the pre-workout supplement. Like I said, I would have thought it would have been a little bit more intense, but not so much. I had more, I'd say, negative side effects physically than I did with the Eat the Bear Uncaged. So if I could provide some insight to anybody and some opinionated thoughts on this, Eat the Bear Uncaged would be my choice for a pre-workout. Give it a shot, see how you like it. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, try something else. But I think I'll give this one a shot again once I'm done with it. So with that being said, that's the end of my review for these two items, and look forward to the next one about Synhydrex, new and old formulas.